Welcome back, L127 here. So last time, uh, in our RAFT playthrough, I have gone through Caravan Town and got a variety of technology, including this metal detector, which could potentially help me find titanium. But unfortunately, I have a relatively poor luck on this part. Probably because I got too much of the lucky stuff. That's maybe. But I didn't get any single piece of titanium as of yet using the metal detectors. So I hope to be able to do it in this part. And the other things that we get is including the the firework, which requires explosive powder. Though you can use those on the seagulls, I believe. And then I also get the zip line along with the zip line too. That we can have some accessibilities on zip lines. During the intermission, I have set up this animal farming, this animal section, so I can actually have animals actually produce things for me. I still don't have a goat, so I really hope this large island which I am next to has one. That would be great if that actually has one on that. Anyways, so it's time to go through this island and then do some things. So in this part, I really want to cover some of the more interesting parts of this, some of the other parts of the large island, including to actually give a clearer explanation, or like to actually tell more, to actually give out more about those houses that play music in the large islands and then potentially in those desert islands. Well, first I need to get rid of this very annoying flying enemy first before I proceed. Hasn't been any here. It wouldn't be any, considering the city being that way. Wouldn't be any. So you probably already know when is the best time to actually try to actually cast your bow and then attack this guy. It's when it actually is carrying rocks, and then because during this state, it actually is going to be beelining towards you, and it's a more linear. It's a more linear path for that, so it's actually easier for you to actually hit it with the bow. But I'm kind of running out of arrows, so I really hope that I can succeed in this because I'm really low. Only having 10 arrows. And the house that plays music here is actually on the other side, so I can't really do much about it now. I may run all the arrows, only 2 shots left. Then it's only possible to actually try to do that. I'm planning to retire the stone arrows anyway, so as a stone arrows do too low damage for me. I would like a higher damage option if possible. There's still a warthog to deal with, so. Anyway, so it's done with those very annoying enemies. I only have 4 stone arrows left. Might as well just switch to the other upgrade version then. There's the shark, and then I need to try not to get hit by that. Anyways, as I get more of those done. I get more feathers. And then I get more arrows. And I can make more arrows. So the next tier of arrow, the metal arrow, which I already have researched, requires some metal ingots. I plan to make for 24. It's quite expensive in arrows, so in feathers. Anyways, this will be how much I'm going to get. It's going to be 27 metal arrows for me at the moment. I may need a new axe before I move on. It actually doesn't reset. Let me make an axe just in case. I may need a shovel. I'm going to believe in this shovel maybe. Else. Probably don't think you need a bow. There isn't really many ways for me to get it off. It's relatively annoying. So I'm gonna chop some trees, so that you already know that I already have the problem of the, well, in the very first few in the last few parts that I already have this problem. It has been going for a very long time. So the first thing I want to do is to actually do some metal detection. Oh, finally, I was able to get one, a better loot out from metal detector. This is a save, and a save is actually a relatively rare one. It's actually going to give you at least 3 titanium pieces, and it's actually going to be the first titanium pieces I actually get. It also has a chance to give you explosive powder, some relatively nice stuff. But some exclusive stuff you can also get from the treasure hunting or like metal detecting. And that's exactly why I should say, because in case of any accident, then I could have this kept. I mean the game rarely crashes or like have any sort of bug that I have to hard shut the game to actually get the things resolved. But yeah, the loot is so precious that I don't want to lose it. Anyways, I am chopping trees here, as I'm going to do one of the things that I could potentially do to solve my playing problems. It's not just chopping trees here. No, it's not that simple. You'll know that you can already grow the trees using large crop plots. However, I have a advanced version of large crop plots. And I will talk about how you actually going to be able to unlock this advanced large crop plots. But first, I need to probably return and then, or like try my best to actually do this. Maybe, I don't know. For whatever probabilities there is, going to put my hands on these for any kind of possibilities. Well, that indicates there is loot. It's what kind of loot is not it's not determined yet. It's probably higher up. So I'm going to get this watermelon pineapple. And I already full inventory. Maybe that this is not the greatest thing to actually do this. So I will actually return this. I got some seeds. Nice seeds. Well, it doesn't seem much because because palm trees don't really give much seeds. They're actually one of the tree types that give out the least amount. So this can be the reason why like palm trees will later be like the seed, which the seed is more demanded. There are some juicer recipes. There are also some some cooking pot recipes. But anyways, we get some titanium pieces. I actually going to smelt the titanium pieces. I want to cover titanium in this process as well. So titanium takes even longer time to actually process or like to be smelted. Takes about half more time, so 1.5 times the time consumption for titanium to be smelted. Let me clear out my inventory first. And then I'm probably also going to cover the trading post. So I did some progress on the trading post in the intermission, during the intermission. So I will talk about how you're actually going to progress the trading post and then get high qualities to actually be able to purchase high quality stuff from trading posts without actually trying to get those by yourself, because they will give a relatively nice way to actually get some of the loot. I should also bring an enemy net, but I'm going to call for the trading post, which is those houses playing music, and then there is a goat. I'm definitely going to get the goat for sure, because I kind of needed the goat for resource for some of the recipes, that kind of thing. You can drink milk. It actually gives some bit of a thirst bonus, I think. But that's not what we are after though. We're after the availability for some of the recipes, which needs milks to be processed, to actually be cooked. We will be chopping trees, though. As I'm going to go through this crop plot soon, and then start to work on actual planting trees for my plant supply. But there is a available spot which I'm going to try to seek for. It's probably around here. Even though what you get, what kind of thing you get from the from treasure hunting is really probability based. I feel like it is kind of against me. I was alright outside the recording session, but I wasn't having issues with metal detector when I end recording during the intermission and also the pause. Anyway, so this is the trading post. As I already have mentioned, this is the trading post like in part 2. So anyways, so I did unlock tier 2. Anyway, so you can purchase those things using trash cube, and some of those will require you to actually get a trade coin to to buy some of those things. Well, later things will basically need you to actually get some trade coins. But trade coins is actually a lot easier to get than trash cube, in my opinion. So the first thing you will need to use a recycler to turn basic resources to trash cubes, and then you buy the fishing base using this special fishing base using these trash cubes, including the tier 2 ones, and there's also a tier 3 one. But I'm actually going to buy the tier 2 one. And then you're going to be fishing up these fish to actually get yourself the trading coins. For the tier 1 fishing, you can use this tier 1 fishing base and then get this any of this kind of fish, and then get the trade coins and reputation. And this reputation is going to be needed to actually rank up your tier. So I am going to try to up my tier to tier 3. If possible, because tier 3 will provide me some relatively nice stuff, which I really would like to get. I think it's mostly done for the metal detector though. Is there any livestock here? Can't be sure. But there is a clocker and the ghost for sure, and I definitely want to get the ghost. Without the ghost, I don't have milk, and then I don't have milk, I can't do some of the recipes, and that's sad. So I'm gonna do some animal catching, but I feel like I should make the boat to be closer before I actually try to do further actions, because I have quite a big issue with this, as it's kind of too far. Okay, I think that should be good. Else, we have researched, we have got some titanium ingots, and then we can use this titanium ingot to research this. And then we can learn advanced collection net, which I think is one of the worst places you can actually use titanium on, especially in the other game. Unless you want to really push towards the end game state, or like to actually be pretty much finished on your base or your raft, then unless you have that, I highly discourage you to actually get the I highly discourage you from actually using the titanium on this advanced collection net. There are some useful things you can use titanium on, including this battery charger, which you are going to use for titanium ingots on this, which you can charge your batteries, which basically you can charge dead batteries to make them usable again, instead of trying to actually get them to be able to be turned into headlights or like metal detectors. If you don't have those, or you're actually using a little more advanced battery, which you cannot even turn those batteries to a second new product, like the metal detector. And there's another thing I really would like to get, if possible, for this part. It's going to be engine controls. So you will be able to control your engine, so you can remotely control your engines, basically from the control section. And I don't have to touch the engines at all, and I can just remotely control them. Without much of a problem, and then that will be very nice. So that is titanium. So I'm gonna bring my animal net. I only have one. I was able to get some, so let me make 5 more. Just in case I failed to catch those. Let's not put this on the hand now, in case I misclick and then waste one. That'd be bad, because those are not easy to come by. I may have issues on stairs, so I better be quick. so they should be the those here. And then I can then get milk. Yeah. Always. I plan to have at least 4 of the goats and clockers. And then 6 llamas, maybe. The llamas will be very useful later on when you're actually going to try to push trading post currency for getting the actual thing you need, which is going to be the trash cubes. Since the trade coin is actually very easy to get, it just needs fishing instead of actually collect a load of resources, and then the worst is yet here. I will give a use on these now because I feel like it's definitely worth explaining how much pain I have to suffer for actually doing this. It's not fun to actually do this, so I definitely would like to use the wolves from the llamas later. So for each trash cube, it's going to be about 30 plastic, 30 palm or 30 palm leaves. I will use palm leaves here because I got too much palm leaves. So what is the worst part about this? Well, there isn't an easy way to actually mass place all these palm leaves. So the only way to do this is going to be me spamming my E key in this case. And this is very annoying to engage with, because you have to press the button and actually break your finger like a maniac. So you can actually place this resources to the recyclers in mass quantities. And if I use wool, I only need 2. I would then only need 2 per trash cube. Then I can significantly reduce the number of this keyboard presses I need to go through, and it's actually a lot easier to deal with this than because it has been very long to deal with this. Anyways, so how the recycler actually processes the trash cubes? My assumption is that there is a bus. There's basically a bus section secretly going, so for every once in a while that the command to or like the signal to actually the process to actually let the recyclers to produce a trash cube if they are functioning, the so-called functionaries, if they have enough resources, and then they use the resources in their storage, or like the disposal storage, and then use up the battery shells and spill all the trash cube. That is my assumption, and that's probably the reason why they spill all the trash cubes simultaneously. That is my assumption though, and one recycler can store up to 4 trash cubes over disposal storage, and then one simple battery can handle 8 trash cubes of processing. So let me do some cooking before leaving, because I feel the need to actually do some cooking. I will use the simple fish stew here. You might have seen a blue recipe on top of this cooking pot. This is a catfish deluxe, and if I can actually make sure that I don't remove this by accident. Anyways, I will go through this catfish deluxe later. But first, let me catch the animals. I was able to catch this clocker in one go, because the previous 2 clockers has to be done with 2 tries. So yeah, it was quite inefficient. So I really would like to try to get my accuracy on those on catching animals improve for this, to actually reduce consumption on this. I almost run out the bows. That's not nice, for sure. Anyways, I think it's time to progress on the fishing part of the fishing. So how you're going to do trading post fishing? So you're going to be using this advanced fishing base, or like any kind of a special trading post fishing base you get from the trading post. And to use those, you need to hold right click, and then hover over this and actually click this with left click to actually switch the fishing bait. Make sure you have this set to the actual bait before you actually start fishing. Otherwise, you will not be using those fishing baits to fish, and then you will instead only get the regular fish. So here as well, and then you just basically do the fishing while you wait for your stuff, and then you get your fish. and then you can sell those to the trading post. Then it's gonna be a while before that I use up all these 30 fishing baits, or like the 30 fishing baits, because a fishing pole can only do 30 fishing attempts, or like fish 30 times. So the animal crop plot is the animal grass plot section is set, but there is still some things that can be improved over this. Sprinklers actually cost quite a bit of power, or like electricity. But I would like to use the sprinklers. And then there's also another problem when it comes to actual consumption of water. The water can be, you can use salt water on these sprinklers, and then they will water the crop plots, they will water the plots. And there is a way to actually fix the water part. So there's something called story elements, or like story locations. And the next story location we will be able to will have access to is Tangaroa. There will give us the ability to actually get more advanced water logistics, so we can transport water like biofuel, and then we can also automatically purify water and send those through the pipeline system, and then get many of the problems resolved on water transportation. So we can actually get the sprinklers to be more efficient, or like to be able to be active all the time, as I would like to get that settled for all the time. There is something that cannot be resolved though, it's the battery. I mean, there will be a better version of the battery which lasts longer, so you can just basically switch the batteries less frequently. But you cannot automatically distribute energy for in place of batteries. So you will have to take the exchange for that, and actually change all the batteries that needed to be changed. So just having looked for every single battery you have been using across the places. So now there are many things that use batteries as power instead of planes or like any kind of fuel you would have imagined. So I would like to talk about a new type of resource. It's going to be milk. So how you get milk is basically use a bucket on the goats. There is no official queue on the goats, to indicate when you can actually milk them. But yeah, when you or like a direct visual cue, instead of actually hovering over them and see, oh, there's a milk box, there's a milk symbol, or like a bucket symbol that indicates that I can do the thing now. No, it doesn't give a direct a visual cue on the. It doesn't give a direct visual cue on the goats like the llamas when their wools are grown and then I just visually say that I have wool, then I can share them. Maybe I'm just blind, but this is what I have, and this is what I've get. At least I'm not really clear. Though I may just have to check them every once in a while to actually get that done. Anyways, I'm almost done with the fishing of these fishing rods. So that's basically how you're going to do some fishing using this special fishing bait. So for tier 2, you will be able to get the trust snapper, obelisk, and the false bitter. They don't give any difference between each other. They're just basically variant, taking your space, guys. So I almost done with this fishing rod, so let me finish off with this fishing rod and then we can move on towards the trading place again. So I don't see any visual cue on this for me to actually be able to milk. So I will have to check that engine once in a while. I'm going to get a second bucket of milk, and then I'm going to actually perform like one of them, like presumably one with the most powerful food options available in this game. But I got some trash cubes, and I got some trade points. Anyways, there are some things that I can, that you can go about this trading post. So let's go to the trading post. And I also like to take a screenshot on this because I need a screenshot for every video, otherwise it just doesn't see the progress there. Anyways, so you're going to be basically selling this trade coins in repetition, and then we very easily reach tier 3. It's actually very easy to actually reach tier 3. So you only need to actually go to 3 trading posts to get to tier 3. So you're going to be buying the simple fishing base in the first tier. In the first one, and then you go to the second one and buy some of simple fishing bait to raise you to tier 2, and then you buy the advanced fishing bait, and then go to the third one and then buy some more advanced fishing bait, and this should be able to carry you to tier 3 then. So there is a blueprint I have gotten, which is this advanced large croplet, which you can purchase to unlock basically the advanced large croplets, and I will give a comparison on the basic one. And I also purchased the foundation counter, which I have already placed on the RAFT. You can also get some metal ore and copper if you run out of this. You can also buy explosive goo. And then here in the tier 1, that you already see that I already have the catfish deluxe recipe. So this is a recipe that allows that you can cook, and the dish that is going to be increase your movement speed, and you will need to chili to actually get this. So you need to make sure you get those as well before actually try to cook those these special dishes that are unique in the way that their look is more delicate in the way that they are blue instead of just a pale white colored background. Here we can buy expert fishing baits, and you can also you can even buy titanium. This costs a lot of trash cube stuff. And you can also buy advanced scarecrow, which is a permanent version of scarecrow. Here's one blueprint I would like to purchase out of tier 3, which is the canteen. I will talk about how you're actually going to go through this canteen. There's also detail plank. I'm not going to talk about that. Anyways, I'm going to buy some expert fishing baits. So what expert fishing baits do? Since you already maxed your tier, these are the tier 3 fish, and they give more trade coins. That's basically it. Yeah, I think I'm good with the shopping session now. I just got some fishing. I just got this highest tier fishing base allows me to fish for the highest tier of fish, which give me more trade coins to use. So I know currently that we are short on trash cubes, not the coins. So yeah, so I also got a canteen blueprint. I already got the large advanced crop plots, or advanced large crop plots. Anyway, so this is the catfish deluxe. You already see that there is I'm not sure if I can remove this without removing it. Okay. So you already see that this needs the chili, and then this is going to actually make you faster. I already have this, I already have some of this stuff. Let me find it here. And it very clearly marks that it makes you run faster. And I believe I have a head broth recipe. I'm going to put it here. Here, I have the advanced large clockets. Obviously, we don't need the blueprint for these. Or like, we don't need to keep the blueprints for these. You just need to research those and then you just throw those away afterwards. And here is the canteen, for water only. And then I can actually make the canteen now. So let me make a canteen. And obviously a canteen is even larger. It's actually double the size of so I would like to get a second purifier, and then I also need some metal ingots. So no, I have the capability to get myself the canteen. Anyways, so the bottle can be thrown away, or like be processed into the oxygen bottles, or even binoculars. Binoculars kind of insane though, because binoculars you're actually going to need two, and I don't see much of a significant impact on that. So you can get that if you have a very steady if you actually have the very steady amount of steady harvesting for bamboo and then a very steady collection for plastic, you should be fine then. I can milk again. Alright, let's talk about this next recipe that I want to follow. It's the head broth. So the head broth is a really interesting recipe. It's the only recipe that uses an animal head. I think it's the only one that uses an animal head. It's the poison puffer head. And then the poison puffer head is also the only head that is used in the cooking recipe. Which I do have those poison puffer heads, so yes. So the first thing is that these can be placed, and then you need a potato or beet to get this as a part of the recipe. And then you need bucket of milk to get this head broth. So make sure that you have 2 heads and beet or potato, and then bucket milk. This takes a very long time, I think. So I would like to place more planes before I move on. Anyways, I feel like I should be able to leave this this island now, so let's do it. Alright. Can't really do anything to the eggs, except that you can eat those, or like turning them into cells. So they take significantly longer, I think, than the past blueprints I have made. Like the simple fish stew, stuff like jam. This is a very long recipe to follow, or like a very time-consuming one, or maybe not else. Anyways, so we can pick up this head broth. I'm not going to use that now. So a tad scary but nutritious broth, and it is really nutritious. I will give a demonstration on that thing and how powerful it really is. Keep in mind that the milk is consumed, that the bucket is consumed. You need to make sure you have some buckets going. So it can be a little bit expensive because it takes a scrap to make. So. Anyways, I feel like I should be able to start to talk about the crop plots. So this is the normal large crop plots. As you can see, the most significant price change is in nails, which is basically a form of scrap. And the comparison between normal large croplets and the advanced large croplets is in their size. They both can plant one tree. Okay. Like I should say that you can plant one tree on the large croplets, basically, just one tree every plot. Well, the difference is that in the size. So, as you can see here, the advanced large croplets is noticeably smaller. And then I can't cramp it in the advanced the normal large croplets in that small section, but I can with the advanced one. So I'm actually going to throw away this normal large croplets. There's no way for me to uncraft something. Well, at least for vanilla. There is mounted, I think it can uncraft this. But I don't plan to do modding for this going through. I will demonstrate how powerful the head broth really is when I am hungry again, or when I wear off my bonus hunger increase, because the power of the advanced large crop, like not the advanced large croplets, the power of head broth is actually from the bonus hunger that it gives. So the first thing is I'm going to get some more So let me place this croplets before moving on. And you probably already know that the canteen stores twice a month, so it's basically 10 units of water. So it's going to be two. It's going to be two advanced purifier amounts of water. Another nice thing about the canteen is that it doesn't interfere with the crafting using the bottles. I would like to relocate. I just need to get the one side of the placement correct for that. I don't want to engage with the island now, because I want to put more focus on the trees. And I feel like large island just took too much time to actually navigate through, or like actually get all the stuff done. I can get animals, but I feel like the animals are just going to expand further, because I actually don't need that many goals. I feel like I'm good with the current number of animals. It's like having a production is just strictly better than none. Like, you have the production, then you have the production. If you have the production, then you just have the ability to make those things, to produce the things you need to get. So here, I'm going to demonstrate that you can use salt waters to fill the sprinklers. So you don't even need to purify those. Though it barely matters, and you're actually going to actually do the purifying, but you can actually pump in the water. Because the way that you're going to be able to pump in the water is basically, it's going to be basically required to be purified first. To actually get the pumped water out of the ocean and into this full system. So I shouldn't talk too much about the full system because it can make things a little bit too complicated. Anyways, we can then use the seeds. This is a seed. It's a bag of seeds. So you plant this. Basically every single type, every kind of plot, or like the crop plots, you place the seeds on these crop plots, and then you will need to water. Though it's currently raining, so I don't think I actually need to do the watering. The rain is just going to get that covered, and then you just wait them to grow. And then you should be able to get the trees to grow, and then get the planks, and chop up the planks out of it. So the palm trees is 5 plants per tree, and it takes 5 chops to break the tree. So it's about 1 per chop of an X. Now I would like to extend this even further. Making 12 of those, so I only need 48. So the most consumptive part has to be the nails. Yeah, that's basically all my scrap gone. Well, that's sad. But it has to be done. So we can get the other problem done. I would admit they look nicer as well, compared to the normal one. But the main impact is basically the ability to make for a more compact design for these tree plots. I'm just going to call them tree plots because you grow trees on them. And seagulls don't attack tree plots, so it's basically not a thing to worry about. Then to get the seeds, then you will need to use the and then I think it's time to place the batteries for these sprinklers. I already have these batteries prepared. So it's just going to be placing the batteries and then should be in function. So that is the batteries. I don't even have the titanium to actually make the battery jar. So I wouldn't be able to actually do it. It's just water that's running out. Oh, I'm not supposed to kill. I mean, I don't have to kill those. Anyways, I think it's time to actually give you a play on this three, the headboard. So I have this headboard on my hand, but it's not easy. Definitely not. It's already finished food. So I consume it. You can see that very thick yellow bar here. Let me have something. I'll take the eggs, maybe. Here you can already see it's actually a whole. It's actually a full. It's actually a whole bonus hunger bar of effects. So that single head broth just basically give you max bonus hunger, which lasts for very long time, compared to many other kinds of food you could potentially get in this game. It's also available in food. It's also possibly obtained in the food chest, in the food crates and food boxes, I believe. Which is ridiculous, in my opinion. But this is like one of the best food options you can have. The only downside is that you need to sacrifice some biofuel to be able to make some biofuel. Because those animal heads can be used to make biofuel. I would like to get a crate because I need recipes. The recipe is so important. I am having it. I'm having a need for recipes. So. Definitely going to seize any opportunity there. I would like to get to that island if I can get some titanium out there, then it's nice. If not, I can also get some resources out there. I'm gonna cook for more fish stew, or like simple fish stew. There used to be a fish stew, but it got deleted and then there are other things that you can do actually. I'm already out of bones, so thankfully I have plenty clay, so I actually can do some playable work. So I was able to get quite a number of those playballs. Now this battery is dead, so I need a new battery. Yes, I'm now going to. Yes, I'm not going to actually. Make the battery charging for now, and then I'm just going to have a loaded number of those dead simple batteries over the place in my storage system, most likely. I need to drop anchor, and we're going to do some gathering out of this island. We need resources. I feel like a diving set on this one will be useful. I might need to get away with the shot to actually get the resource for this. No, I cannot get the titanium. I believe in the next story location with opportunities. I'm getting titanium, so no worries. Yeah, the head broth really make a significant impact. That one head broth is going to probably last me for a very long time. Maybe until this end of this part, maybe I can't be sure how long I actually run the replay. I don't have enough goo to make the set. That's unfortunate. So I need to cook the seaweed now. And I will treat the lighter section of the sea. I will be aiming for scrub. It's very obvious because scrub is kind of what I short up. It's relatively dark, I can't see, so I actually go to sleep. Before that though, I'm going to be cooking more seaweed. And I'm cooking even more seaweed. And I should be able to make the diving set. I also feel like I'm going to need to mine for the metal ore, so if I can get some of this metal. I don't know when I need to engage this shop. Well, it's very clear that it's now. Oh well. Oh dear. Since it's here, and it's basically no way out of this, so it has to be done right now. Well, we're rested. It wouldn't be so challenging without the shock. So I would have admitted that I haven't been fighting shock recently. Or like actually intending to actually fight shock for grace periods like this. I would have admitted that grace period is what you deserve to actually be able to mine these precious resources out of the islands, and then you can just move on. I can actually pick this up now. I want the head because heads can be used for biofuel, and the biofuel is going to be one of the things I am going to aim for. So I can actually completely replace planks as a form of the fuel engine, and I can also use biofuel for battery charging. I don't really want to use battery charger. I want to skip to the next variant of the battery charger if possible. There is a next variant, but it's relatively later game. So I might as well just hold before actually getting that as an option. It's still quite a bit away before I can actually get this next battery charging unlocked. So I may use this very first variant of battery charger, or just have a go and then have a lot of those dead simple batteries in my storage. I guess I'm just going to have a lot of dead batteries in my storage, and then turn all of those into. I wasn't meant to mine sand, but here we go then. And here's some sand. We are almost done with this. My hook is dead. Fortunately, I had another. Well, I just happen to have another. Yep, here's it. I don't feel like I really need to mine clay for now, so I'm going to just return them. So here is the foundation counter. So it basically counts how many foundations you have on the raft. It doesn't count the collection nets. It does count the triangular net as one singular foundation. So if you have a triangular foundation as well as a two triangular foundation to form a square. I think it costs two, which can make up for the inefficiency for engines. Because why would you want to have foundation counters? Because those will be very important to consider when you design a setup to support a specific number of engines. Though there's a bulky way to have this go. Just use 6. You use 6 and then you can basically power a RAFT in any kind of size. Which is weird, but that's what happens, so. And another dead battery. So the only way to get this resolved is make a new one. I don't care, just make a new one. Eggs can also be used in biofuel. I'm gonna make a shield. Or shears. Or use a solution. Well, I have plenty of hinges, so that isn't a problem. I just fall that away. Just don't do it. Since a pair of shears can only be used 15 times, so you're going to really need quite a number of those before you can actually do any kind of reasonable. Before getting any reasonable number of them. Though you don't win that many wool, so I think it's fine. Now I can chop the trees. For palm trees, they are extremely likely that you're going to need to go through the islands and get the seeds. Because in average, every palm tree only yields about half palm seeds. So you'll very likely need to go back and replenish your seeds on island, and very likely not just on single islands. There's another island. I would like to go to the island. I need more scrap. Also, while I was using the axe, I just noticed that actually using the one axe that I was using. Now I have two axes. This takes inventory space. So 13 out of 18 trees chopped off. Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite a bit of an issue, but I got quite a bit of planks out from this. Can't you say it's a very nice source of planks? Yeah, tree plantation is definitely a solution to plank plugging. Considering the fact that I need so many of this, I need so many of those trees to actually get what I need. And I did get quite a number of coconuts. And I have too many coconuts that it's taking quite a bit of space. Unfortunate. But yeah. Those will be used even more though. When I introduce you the new cooking station or like a cooking service. Anyways though, time to go to the island, and there's already the shark after me. Oh dear, how am I going to be able to go for this without getting caught by the shark? Get as far as possible is the way to go. Then just need to make sure it doesn't catch me, it doesn't like detect me. Then I should be fine. Though this fine wouldn't be so fine when it comes to dealing with the shark. Actually facing the shark, because you're never going to be fun. As you're already in range of the shark, you cannot run away from the shark once it gets you. And the only way to actually escape battle or like be off battle against the shark. Oh, there's a briefcase. And then it's going to be a titanium piece. And holy power. 3 titanium pieces out from this briefcase. Very nice. Very nice. Now I'm gonna cook these titanium pieces. And I should be able to make my engine controls. I'm actually quite thirsty, so let's get this resolved. Now it's time to dig for more resources. Oh dear. please don't get me. Please don't get me. Just run away from it, or swing away from it. It doesn't technically run. It's technically swinging away from it. Anyways, I have been using a very huge amount of scrap for those crop plots. As you can already see, you need a lot of scrap. Like you should never think that you have enough scrap. No, you never have enough scrap. Like in this game, like you just can't believe that you have enough scrap. Like scrap, in my opinion, is even more demanding than planks because you can actually farm trees for planks. And then this scrap is just like you can't really efficiently get them from just collecting the ocean flotsam. You cannot simply do that for the scrap because it doesn't really give you much out of that. You really have to mine to get the scrap the meant supply. Otherwise, it's just not enough scrap for your needs, and then you're going to suffer from that shortage. I also got mine some clay because why not? I feel like I'm going to need more clay balls. Food has become one of the dishes has become one of the best options for me, in my opinion, to aim for. So I'm definitely going to be using clay balls then. But I didn't see people any in the previous island. Well, it isn't a strict demand on clay. Though clay is going to be there's going to be a surge in consumption when it comes to unlocking a next tier of furnace. You probably already know what this furnace is going to be, or like the smelter. And this next tier of smelter is going to be actually quite nice to go by. Okay, I think I'm good. Let's reset now. So time to swing back to my left. And we're going to take some more play out of it. Is there. Here is this there. Swimming menacingly. Anyways, I feel like I'm going to end this part by going to this next door location actually. And then in the next part, I can immediately start it. So let's do it. Here, I also have an assumption. Oh, we are quite close to an island. Sigma's island. Is that I have the assumption that the story islands only spawn. The targeted story island only spawns when you have the receiver set to that code, set to the coordinate of that store location. It only spawns when you have a receiver set to that coordinate. So this is an assumption. So under this assumption, I think by basically removing the receiver or setting a receiver to, for example, the coordinate for the radio tower is now going to make is not going to be spawning any evergreen biome or desert biome, like those desert biomes I have encountered in the previous part. I don't think it's going to spawn those because desert biomes will tend to spawn next to a caravan town, and then evergreen is going to be Balboa. Though this is an assumption, I think that is at least going to be less chance. Though I can't be sure about this. Anyways, we're going to set for the code for this next place, so it's 334. And it's quite far. 2.8 or 2.8,000 is extremely far for sure. 2.8,000 is like, obviously, yeah. But first I want to engine controls because engine controls is nice. And there is going to be a new feature for engine controls, which I can also show you later. But first we need 6 pieces of titanium. So let's get that. Well, first let me sort out my inventory because my inventory is quite messy. Let me eat this watermelon. I already have too much melon that I cannot fit those into the... Okay. Anyway, so let's see how much I need for an engine controller. Circuit boards. This is already getting unknown. Engine controls, that means... Oh well. 2 bolts and scrap, and then I can make this engine controls. Okay, so let's put the engine controls in. Here. Okay, so there are 3 things you can do with this engine controls. So here is activating the engine. And here's reversing the engines. This applies reversing of the engines of every single engines once, so you actually don't need to like have they don't get to the same setup. Like if I have this set to the left and this set to the right, it's going to turn this to the right and this to the left. And then you can have kind of aiming for more symmetrical, but not so symmetrical, because there are many things that cannot be flipped, and it's kind of annoying for that. I know, it's really annoying, but that's what's happening. Anyways, I'm going to get a shovel, though I know that shovel is probably not going to be so useful for story for the future story items. Yeah, to be fair, with this tree plantation, I really don't. I really think that I shouldn't need to worry about consumption now. Now, what really worries me now is going to be scrap, and then the consumption of metal, because I will need to use the metal ore for some of these things. I need a new axe again. Oh, don't do this. Yeah, what it takes is really a lot of axes. A lot of axes. Yeah, we are getting more and more. And oh dear, a lot of coconuts. Maybe I should make a coconut recipe. I should follow a coconut recipe then. How's the current situation? I think I should turn now. Okay, it's about 2,000. Yeah, it's gonna be a long time before I actually get to that destination. Finally, we can finally see at least a chest, at least a storage chest of planks. It has been very difficult time with the planks due to the expansion needs. It takes so much planks. Though I know that it's going to take even more planks to actually finish this. I'm gonna use some biofuel on these engines. Those only 2 engines, I don't think I really need to worry about the consumption, because the consumption is really based on how many engines you have. Only having 2 engines, I think I shouldn't need to worry about the consumption then. I can also make armor, but I don't want to make armor because you can actually buy armor, but not through those trading posts. It's for another source of you can purchase some more things using another type of currency. But it's kind of part of this next story location though. So let's see how far we are. About 1700. Yeah, still quite a bit. The radio tower. Yeah, it was on the way. I don't really need to worry about the radio tower now. I just kind of use the radio tower coordinate as a placeholder coordinate, or like it starts with the when you place the receiver, it starts with the radio tower. So I did set it to the radio tower. Yeah, it's still going to be quite a bit of way before we head towards this next destination. So I think I should end here. So if you want to follow this series, consider subscribing and turn off the notifications, and I will see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.